Hello and welcome back. Another week, another episode of The Garden of Ethan. I welcome you back. I hope you're having a great day, having a good time. Welcome back to the world's most... I don't know if I said the chill podcast last time, but I think it's like so funny to just be like, welcome back to the world's most mediocre podcast, where we just have a sit and a talk and a chat. I feel like I shouldn't knock it down. This is the world's best podcast, actually. Get used to it. We're trending solely on my channel. But we're here, we're back. We're in the leopard shirt, finally. I said in one of my episodes that I will eventually get to my leopard shirt. Someone even commented, I just today been like, we need to see the leopard print. I was like, well... Was it the shirt I was going to pick? No, but I was going to get to it anyway. I was like, today's good as ever. I feel like, I'll go back a bit. It's just like when I'm like this, it doesn't like show where arms are. I feel like just a bit of like everything just kind of blends into one shape. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's kind of fun. The further you get back, then you can't tell. I don't know. I also feel kind of whorish. I don't know. There's just something about leopard print. I don't know, like a cougar. We stan the cougars out there, but I feel like this is what is stereotypical in the movies, like older woman that they're deemed promiscuous. They wear leopard print, and I feel strange in it. You know what I mean? It's not my jam. I don't know why I bought it. It was probably one of those things, you know, when you go to like... And this is not what I do anymore. It's what I used to do way too often. But you go to like H&M or something, which is also a place I don't go that much anymore. More of a Uniqlo guy. Love Uniqlo to bits. But you go like H&M and you'll be like, oh my god, something's on sale. $7. I'm doing is what is deemed girl math, I think. It's one of those things where it's like, it used to be $30, but it's on clearance for $7. It's practically free. I would just like buy random shit all the time for absolutely and literally no reason. I didn't need it. Like, this is one of the first times I think I've worn this shirt. Like, yeah, it's fun, it's cool, but it's not my vibe, especially not as much my current dress style, so I wouldn't wear it out. So now I'm just like, at least I'm getting some good use with it, which is what I'm liking. Though it's only one of my only shirts left that's like thin and short sleeve. I have a lot of longer sleeve shirts, which will kill me if I start wearing it because we're getting into summer. Summer is getting underway, though in Melbourne, it's a really fun thing. I always get to the weather, but like we're a state where weather just changes at the drop of a hat. 8 seasons in a day, like shit goes wild. So we had like a couple of 30 degrees days, which were really hot. Then it switched to been like, 15 and raining, and now it's going back up. So we've been really on the roller coaster of weather, but luckily today is hot, so I get to wear a short sleeve, which is just fantastic. But how's everyone's 2024 going? Last week, which was late, I did my New Year's podcast, which will be going up when I record this. But yeah, how's your 2024 going? Let me know. Let me know what's been going on. Anything interesting? We're not that far in. And I feel like it's crazy. I hate going places currently. Like, I go to a trivia every week. And he was like, oh, welcome back to the first week of trivia, like, for, since last year. And I was like, don't fucking say it like that. I feel, it's so crazy to be like, since last year. Like, when you're like midway through a year and you go, oh yeah, last year. You're like, yeah, last year. But it's still 2023 in my mind. I haven't updated my software. We're not figured that out currently. I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are telling me it's 2024? I'm living in the past, baby. Don't want to move on. Actually, I'm really excited for this year, just like semi-simply because the fact of, I think there are so many like, I don't know about movies, but good TV show coming out, and since that is what I love to do and share and get involved in, I'm excited about it because like TV is like the best thing ever. Also, I get to experience, but I'm just bloody excited. But you know what? I only listen to one podcast, and I structure mine well, not say, you know, it's just like a talking, catch up, like chill vibe sort of thing. But that's what I like listening to. I think I've said that before. So that's why this is the podcast that I do. You know, some podcasts definitely like focus on things or can be more academic, and you know, there's a billion different ways you could do it. But I structure on what like I like to hear. Like I do my reactions. Like, I like doing reactions because I like to watch reactions and enjoy that. So it's one of those things where it's something I enjoy, so I want to make things that I know I like the way I would enjoy it for someone else. It's really weird going into that whole layers of things. Anywho, the only podcast I listen to, and I don't know if I said it, it's by Grace Helbig and Mamrie Hart. It's called This Might Get. Fantastic podcast. Love. It's one of those people that, you know, you followed for like absolutely years and think they're the best. And they really get me through my drives to my parents' house. But they were talking about how everyone was saying, like, they were talking about resolutions. That's what they're, like, last week's, or wherever we are. The last one I listened to, they were talking about resolutions and, like, years and stuff. And they were talking about how all the young kids on TikTok were talking about how 2023 is, like, the worst year ever. And I'm just like, do we not go through... This is not at them. This is, like, a thing that I was thinking of. I was like... Does everyone not just say every year's the worst year, every year we go to another year? You know what I mean? Like every year you go into a new year and you're like, 2020, oh my god, I can't wait to go to 2021. 2020 has been so awful. Oh my god, 2008 is going to be my year. 2007 was awful. 2015 killed me. 2016, I'm coming back strong. I feel like every year we get into this like weird societal habit of being like, yeah, that was the worst year ever. And then you like point out all these bad things that happened in the world, which obviously sucks, but like they seem to, they will always be happening every year. And you're just like, oh god, like, yeah, all years suck and all years are great. Like, I feel like we need to start, like, we're gonna start highlighting the positives of like what's going on each year, because sometimes you're just like, come on, let's like congratulate and lift up. Because focusing on the bad things, yes, they happen and you have to acknowledge them, but sometimes you're just like, it sucks. Also, every year seems to be the bad year. So I think about it, I'm like, should we just establish that by the end of the year, everyone's fucking over it and they want to move on? It probably wasn't definitely some cases probably is the worst year for certain people. But for other people, I'm just like, okay, I get it. We're tired. We want to refresh. We're telling ourselves that. But was it really the worst year ever? I'm always just like, oh, it's New Year's already. Nothing is going to change. But also, they were talking about resolutions and doing a whole resolutions podcast and talking about them. And I'm here to go into it. A, have you made any resolutions? What's going on? Like, how you doing with them already? You're sticking to them? I personally kind of hate New Year's resolutions. I think, like, also, resolution is a strange way to put it and phrase it. I don't really like the idea of it, in a way. I think a lot of people make them, and then I feel like you can get really let down by it, and I think that is a really tough way to live. I think making goals for yourself is a really good thing. I don't think that should not be done. But to do this thing like, I'm going to be like better at this, great at this, not do this, I'm going to get to this, and just be like, you know, I have a whole year to do it. Which is just, it's tough. I feel like with goals, in my personal opinion, it's like, when I want to make a goal, it's like, this week I want to do, like today I want to do this. And I feel like we need our daily goals. Like the year, I feel like a lot of resolutions are so big and so huge, you end up procrastinating them a lot of the time. Like I know a lot of them's like, eat healthier, don't drink, get fit, or certain things. And then, I don't know, even like, and they're so strong a lot of the time. A lot of people make really harsh resolutions that are just like not feasible in a way. I hear some people talk about them and I'm just like, should we really be focusing on that? Like, oh, giving up drinking, I'm like, if that, if you want to stick to it and you want to try to it, that is great. It's not that I want to knock anyone else's resolutions. I just feel like it's such a tough thing to hold yourself to. I feel like I want to drink less, but even like drinking less, it's just maybe, how about we pick the best times to do it? It's that thing of like wanting to do this, because then if you don't stick to it properly, letting yourself down, I think, is a really tough thing to deal with. And a lot of resolutions set yourself up to fail in a way, because you don't know what the whole year's going to like give to you or provide or take, and setting up these really big things that might not be feasible and then having to let yourself down is very hard. I feel like I went through a couple of years of making New Year's resolutions and I never stuck to them, and I was always so annoyed and angry at myself, and I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, when I go into every week going, I'd like to go to the gym this many times, I feel like that's a feasible thing, and if I don't do it, I go, well, that's okay, because I have my next week. You know what I mean? Because I'm working week by week, and then when I go next week, if I do make it, it's like, maybe I'll alter it a bit, because I know, that week I didn't do this, or that week I was busy, and what's upcoming next week, I know I can figure it out and change it. I feel like that makes me a lot happier with what I want to do, when I realistically know what I'm doing and what's coming up in the near future, and then I can adjust my goals to set them better. I'm not doing I want to go 4 times this week. If this is hypothetical, I want to go 4 times this week. If I went, say, 2 times, next week I'd be like, maybe I hope to get 2 times again. Then if I went 3 times, I'd be so excited and happy with myself. I feel like that builds up a lot more with yourself, and setting realistic goals and expectations, and knowing also what's going on with yourself in that time, especially since it's hard when you're like, oh, I want to run, I want to do a triathlon, which I feel like a lot of people do alons, athlons, dodecahedrons, like they love doing their ons, you know what I mean? They're like, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna swim, I'm gonna cycle, I'm gonna jump, my name's, like, great for you. But then, like, you may start training, that's good, but then, like, you get slammed at work, a family member gets sick and stuff happens, and then, the year just moves on, you forget about things, you can't get back to them, it hits, in Australia, I feel like you go to the middle of the year, it starts getting a lot colder, especially for, like, exercise sort of resolutions, things get harder, and if you're sticking to that, like more power to you, and that's great and fantastic. But I do feel realistically, and I am absolutely part of this, I won't follow through with it, and then I feel horrible about myself, because I'm like, this was the goal I made and I'm not doing it. Or like you kind of put it out of your mind, and you do that thing where you like pretend you don't remember, but you really know it's there, and you have this kind of inner fight with yourself, and you're just like, why the fuck am I going back and forth with these emotions when the only one dealing with this is me? And then you're mad at yourself because you're thinking that, and then you just spiral. And I feel like this is fairly common thought process. I have it myself generally when I used to make resolutions, but now I think I tend to try and make more healthier goals with myself, because I'm just like, realistically, I don't, like, I did that like one year, I was like, I want to run this much, or one time I was like, oh, I'd love to get like better abdominals or something, and I was just like, I didn't put in the effort, and I knew going into it that I probably wouldn't or ever want to, like, not getting better abdominals or anything, but like, it's one of those things where I know I didn't want to put in the effort that year, or I knew I couldn't, or I knew it was a big ask. And now I'm just like, oh, I'd love to do like a couple of ab works out, like 3 times a week maybe. And when I hit that goal, I just feel so good. And like, when I go into, like, this week, for example, I'm going out multiple times with like friends this week. I'm going to the tennis at the end of the week. I've got like a dentist appointment. I know I'm busy, so I'm realistically setting myself if you're busy and stressful, it's okay, we can just do something the next week. We're gonna set maybe one ab workout and a good couple of gym sessions, because I know that I can't make it certain mornings. And it's just that thing with, and then I don't let myself down, and I feel like letting yourself down is really hard and tough. And I feel like I'm starting to talk in circles. But I hope you know what I mean. So if you're making New Year's resolutions, I hope you're after what I've said, I do hope you're following them and doing like how good you want. But I just feel like it really needs to be said that don't feel like horrible if you don't set them or you don't get to them as much, because that pressure that some people put on themselves for one is really, it can be really tough. And I feel like it hurts. Like, I definitely know a couple of friends and family members I watch, like, constantly talk about, well, I need to get back to this because I made it my resolution. And I'm just like, you know, I want you to be able to do that. But I'm just like, set those achievable goals. Set those good goals that you know you can try and get to, and that's reasonable for you for the week, for the month. More set in actual periods where you know certainties. Because the years are crazy. It's a lot of time. Doesn't feel like it, but realistically it is. And I was just like, I don't know, New Year's resolutions have always felt weird to me, sat weird, especially in the good last, like, 3 or 4 years. I'm just really not far. And everyone's like, yeah, I'm making them, I'm doing this. I'm just like, nah, I don't think I will anymore. I think I'll stick to my guns and stick to those feelings of what I want to do that I know I can get done. I feel like that does make me happier overall. I don't know if anyone else has gone through this journey, so let me know if I'm alone or not with this, but I definitely love to, like, I was gonna say the weirdest absolute thing. I was gonna say, I love to please myself. I love to, like, get that nice endorphins of, I ticked off what was on my list, like, for the week, and then I feel good and happy. Or when I get done with what I want to do in a day, I'm like, you know, I set that goal and I'm happy. But it's one of those things, and I can't keep talking about it. I'm going to talk in circles. But the other thing I wanted to talk about that I have on the I did say last week, I'm pretty sure, these are cutting down a little. The lengths of these are going to fluctuate. I feel like 35 minutes is better, so that's what I'm going to aim for more. But it really depends on my week, because some weeks I do the most. I do all sorts of things, and I try and write things down, or I'm thinking of things, and then sometimes we have slower weeks. You know, I'm sitting here filming and editing all day. Not much happens. But this week, and this is something I remember when I started the podcast, I was like, this is something I want to talk about and focus on, and then never really got back to. But it's like, celebrity drama, not even drama, what's going on in the world, like big topic and events. Will I be late to this a week later? Yes. There's hopefully in the future, maybe I'll start recording on the week that I post, so everything's a bit more relevant. But for me, the Golden Globes have been I honestly don't know anything about the Golden Globes. I don't know if it happens over a set period of days or it was one night, but it happened. It was all over my Twitter for the last couple of days. Also, link to my Twitter down below if you'd like to follow me there. I talk about different, like, movies and stuff I watch, and, like, other thoughts about things, and, like, maybe some, like, early stuff on reactions I'm doing. Also, I hope to post some more, like, fun pictures of, like, me and my life. I just haven't, you know, when you go through those phases of being like to your friends, oh, take a picture of me here, do that, and we'll get pictures here and this and that. And then I have moments where I'm like, there hasn't been a picture taken of me in I don't even know what I look. If I did post videos literally every day, wouldn't know what I look like. A camera's never seen me. But there's like a couple of fun other pictures there. But the Golden Globes happened, and there was so many different things. I was talking to my friends, and I like watched their faces. I was like, I don't know if they actually care what I'm talking about. So I'm going to talk to y'all, because I know someone out there is gonna like what we think about the Golden Globes. I also love those videos. I don't know if anyone else watches them. I'd love to be a person that does this, but I feel like people who do these videos can get ripped apart, and it scares me. But like the red carpet review, fashion review of the red carpet, I think that's hilarious. I think that's so fun. But I don't know anything about fashion, and if it was people I'd like, I'd be like, they look great. And if it's people I don't know, I'd be like, or they look great. There wouldn't be much like variation of what I'm talking about. But I have four topics that I want to talk about from the Golden Globes. Firstly, the presenter. I don't know if anyone watched it. I don't watch it. I just see clips on Twitter. There was a presenter, or like the host or something. He was a bald man and he was making jokes. So I think he was like the host. Everyone and their mother on Twitter were complaining about him, and I saw some clips. So, you know, I think the host like generally makes like jokes, sets the things up, talks about different things going on. He made a joke about like Taylor Swift and how there's coverage and her in the NFL, because obviously Travis Kelce and her are a big thing to talk about. And he made a joke about Barbie, which like was about Margot Robbie and girl like Barbie with big plastic boobs, which is like, it was a bit of, it was tragic, and it was just like bad. And I was, first of all, I was thinking, and I was gonna tweet it, but I couldn't find a clip that I wanted to go with it. But first of all, I was like, who the fuck is this guy who's making these jokes and like is asked to host? Because I feel like I don't know every celebrity. He could be the most mega famous person in the world, and I'd be like, I don't know him. He's just not in my circles. But I was just like, this is horrible. Like, usually it's someone that makes, you know, we always have some, you know, topics with different hosts. I'm looking at you, Will Smith. That whole thing, that was big. But I was just like, these jokes, for one, are in bad taste. I was just like, I don't think in any world they were good. The Barbie joke and like like plastic Barbie with big boobs or something is just feels kind of like immature. It wasn't really a joke, to be honest. It was kind of an insult to Margot Robbie, just in a way, but more to like Greta Gerwig and her film that she probably like put a lot of work into. Probably literally did, and did a very good, it was a really good movie that I really enjoyed. And kind of that also just like the point of the movie kind of is like, why are we doing these, you know, like it's like he didn't even watch or understand any concept of the movie. And then the Taylor Swift one just also wasn't funny, and I was just like, and I feel like a lot of people that may have liked these jokes would say the people criticizing them that are on the woke committee, and people can't make jokes anymore, or like, oh, just because it's directed at women that, you know, you find the jokes bad. But I was just like, you could make these same jokes, or not the same jokes, but you could do this. You could joke about Barbie, and you could joke about Taylor Swift, and you could just make better jokes. Like, there are definitely ones that I can't think of any. I'm not getting paid by the Golden Globes to make jokes, but there are definitely jokes there and can be made about different like things about the Barbie movie and things about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce that are like, first of all, respectful and not kind of shit, and are actually like funny. And I reckon, from what I see from like all these people, especially also, there were pictures of all different people in the crowd just hanging their head, being like, this sucks, like, this is so hard to listen to. So, first of all, there was definitely a lot of people that were upset with it. But I was just like, from what you see for interviews for, like, Margot Robbie, Taylor Swift, I know Ayo from The Bear was one of the people being like, this sucks, same as Selena Gomez. From what you see from interviews, these people all have like good senses of humor, and like, especially I'm thinking of Margot Robbie, could definitely take a joke about themselves. You know what I mean? Definitely would take one on, and if it was funny and smart and crafted well and witty, they'd probably love it and enjoy it. And if it's not fucking just the most insulting, like, you know, when someone makes a joke about you, yeah, it can suck, but like, if you do it well and respectfully, and it's like teeters on the edge of like that, the jokey and like fun and playful, it can be really good. And to show that ability shows real like strength in your field and your craft of comedy. And I feel like if you did that and you had the person you're making jokes about, if you see them laugh at them, that's like the biggest compliment that you could get, that if they like it. I just feel like you could definitely get there, or even consult with people to like group write some. I was just like, why go that route that you had? Did you check with no one? Like, these things sucked. I was just like, go, if you haven't seen like clips, I feel like you could find them on Twitter somewhere, or if you just watched the Golden Globes. But they were just, it's one of those things where at the end of the day, even, like, I obviously love all these people that they're making jokes about, so that I have a bit of bias there. But I feel like even if I didn't care about, if I just like went into it and watched it, they just weren't that funny. I just like, simple as that. Like, if there's gonna be a like horrible joke, at least make it funny. I don't stand for a horrible joke every now and then, but sometimes if it's gonna happen, at least do it well. It's just the fact that they were just so bland. You're just like, what are you here for? Anywho, we're not going down, we're going back up to pick up the tail end of this. There was a really cool clip that was taken of Taylor Swift, because obviously I'm a Swiftie, big Swiftie, on the side of Twitter that gets a lot of her stuff. But Selena Gomez came up to, and I find this so interesting. I know a lot of people don't like celebrity gossip or drama, or it's that interesting, but I find it so funny. I love watching. I don't know. It's my like guilty. It's not even a guilty pleasure. I fuck guilty pleasures. We should just like things and be unapologetic about it. I fucking love it. So there's this clip, and there is like no sound, it's just lip reading, and this is what everyone was saying was going on, which I think is amazing. I love all the Twitter detectives. I love people going, oh, this is what's happened, this is how it's happening, like, this is what's, and I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm believing everything. But basically, Selena went up to Taylor and was like whispering in her ear, because they're friends, which is so cute, and she's like, and this is what Twitter said happened, oh, I asked him for a selfie. And she goes, who, Timothy? And she's like, yeah. And she said no, because Timothy Chalamet is dating Kylie Jenner, and they've been very public display of affection everywhere. It's practically them just like interlocked at like all these different events. So that's happening. And then apparently Selena had gone up and asked for a selfie, which is so funny that like celebrities like fought over other celebrities. That's crazy in a way. But then the fact that possibly Kylie Jenner said no to Selena getting a selfie with Timothy is hilarious. And then the fact that Selena went up to Taylor and was like, can you fucking believe that? And she said no, and she's like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, I love a bit of drama. And it was just fueling me so hard. I was loving every second of it. It was so much fun. It was so funny. And I just love it because like, it's something that's like, it's drama that doesn't really affect anyone and doesn't matter in the slightest. And it's just funny and like kind of petty and crazy. And it's just fun because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's that good drama when no one's lives are getting ruined. It's just funny shit. I think it's the best. Second, the cast of The Bear. Now, I didn't follow up like who won, but I'm pretty sure The Bear won an award, Ayo won an award, and Jeremy won an award. What they are for or who won the awards, I actually don't really know. I did retweet Ayo's speech because it was fantastic and it was really cute and funny, and she's just the best. But the whole cast of, if you haven't watched The Bear, A, go watch it. If you haven't watched my reactions to The Bear, B, go watch it because they are fun, and that show was such a joy to watch. I think they won like best comedy or something, which the show, I don't know who was voting on that. Not a comedy, very serious. Had some funny moments, but very serious show. Fantastic show. And it was great to see all of them like up on the stage accepting the awards and just seeing them all interact. I saw a lot of like Jeremy Allen White and Ayo, like I saw a lot of pictures of them like having hugs and like getting pictures with their globes, which I think was so cute to just like, it's nice to see that the people that you really enjoy, like the people that they work with and get to experience good things with them. It's just one of those things that like warms your heart that they're happy, they're doing well, you enjoy what they do. It's just kind of this like domino effect, which I think is really like precious. But Jeremy Allen White, I don't know if I'm getting his name fully right, But Kami from The Bear, he just did a Calvin Klein ad. Now, I retweeted it. It was, so if you need to go find it quickly, you can. Chef's kiss, beautiful. That man is stunning. He is so jacked and ripped. It is crazy to me. Very attractive man. Very, very attractive man. But the reason I bring it up, besides like amazingness, I was also thinking to do a video, and I don't know if this is so like out of pocket, but like my top something men of 2023. I think that could be the funnest like end of year going into the 2024 thing. It would literally just be men from shows I've watched or like have seen online or something. And I think that's hilarious because I'm just like ranking them just because I love them and think they're half of them would be like my hottest men, or I don't know. I'd workshop it, but I don't know why I thought of that as a video idea. But I think it could be like really funny. So let me know if that's like sounds interesting or not. Or I could just like pop it, do a podcast week on it, which I think would be really fun. Other than that, the reason I bring up his Calvin Klein ad is they kept showing it to AO and she kept going, "Stop, put that away. I don't need to see it." She's like, "I love him to death, but he is my co-worker." And just to think of them as like co-workers is so fun. Like, obviously they are, but to just be like, "Stop showing me his abs and ass. That's my co-worker. Like, calm down. This is a workplace." She's like, "This is a work function." And I just thought that was so funny. I don't know. Everything she does just was making me so happy, and I was enjoying watching. The only last thing that I picked up from the Golden Globe, well, at least was like circulating a lot on my Twitter feed, because that's where I get all my information, with Jennifer Lawrence, who I love dearly. Oh, some of my, like, Hunger Games I loved, obviously, that's a big one. Silver Linings Playbook was one of my favorite movies for so long. I still love it dearly. I haven't seen it in a very long time. And recently she was in No Hard Feelings. No Hard Feelings? I think it was No Hard Feelings, which I did a reaction on, which was a very fun comedy movie. But she was, what's the word? Nominated for something. And they like pan over to her when they do all the different people. And she just goes, it was mouth, but I'll speak it. She goes, if I don't win, I'm out of here. And I just think that's the funniest shit ever. She's so like funny and just crazy. And also they did a cam at her when Emma Stone won something. I love Emma Stone, so I was happy. But I'm pretty sure they're like good friends. Emma Stone won and she just went, wow. And I was just like, I love her. She's just so like I feel like a lot of celebrities can be a bit weird. She just feels very normal. Just like excited, happy, funny, like comedian. So I was vibing it. I was having the best time. I just love seeing all the stuff on award shows. I think it's fun. I love the filtered stuff I get on Twitter that's like kind of just tailored for me. I think it's the best stuff ever. But like the Golden Globes are so fun. Let me know what your favorite moments of, if you've seen any, watched it. But for now, that's all for this week, really. That's all that happened. The Golden Globes, had a great time. Literally just scrolling, figuring out what was going on. And yeah, let me know if you made any resolutions, what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think about my whole spiel and rant. If you subscribe to that, you like resolutions, if you made any, what you're doing this year. But for now, I hope you are having a fantastic day and you've enjoyed. And I hope to see you in the next one.